Hello and welcome to coverage of Grand Prix Dallas, Fort Worth. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with William Huey Jensen. It is time for the semifinals. We are ready to go. Alex Mitas is playing Jeskai control. Take a look at Alex there. Well, doesn't look too nervous at all, does he? Having a little chat with the judge. Same thing with Kevin Mackie over here. Kevin's on Scred, red. And it's a mono red mid-range deck. It does use Scred, but it also uses powerful planeswalkers, creatures that are a little bigger than what you normally see in Modern. It's kind of bumped up the curve one. Koth the Hammer, Pian Kirin, Nalar, Stormbreath Dragon. These cards are just difficult to deal with, especially given the answers that you typically see in
Here
Modern.
Here it comes, Marshall.
What's going on?
Wait for it.
Okay. I'll be over here.
You don't know what it is? Come on.
No idea. I got a Mind Stone on my. I'm on Team Scred here, man. So
I'm on Team Think Twice.
So jealous. It took like 5 seconds for me to break down. I love Think Twice, man.
I know. How could you not?
Ugh. Some people don't. I do.
I would find it very unusual to not love Think Twice.
Land number 3 here for Kevin Mackie. And is he going to play one of his powerful 4-drops
right
off
for
the
blood.
bat?
He could go right for the Blood Moon.
Does he have a Blood Moon in hand?
I think so.
That would be a powerful play here if he has it. Yeah, you were right. He does have one. Bang! Blood Moon. Does that resolve?
Alex has the negate.
Kind of forced to negate this, right?
Yeah, he has a negate. He also has a basic planes in his hand, so.
Okay, so not the end of the world.
Maybe not forced, but he chooses to.
Yeah. Blood Moon just makes your life miserable when you're playing one of these 3-color decks, though he has drawn a significant number of basic lands.
So this is
here.
a tough spot, in my opinion, for Kevin to just trot out a Stormbreath Dragon. He might have 2, and if he does, it makes it easier, but Alex doesn't have an answer. He's sitting there with the Path to Exile in his hand.
Oh, no.
This is not an easy card to beat. I've been in this situation before.
Absolutely, and this is what I was saying, that like cards like Stormbreath do match up well against, it doesn't die to Lightning Bolt, it doesn't die to Lightning Helix, it doesn't die to Path to Exile.
Right.
Like, those are the things that Alex is going to try to throw at it. Now, he can sweep it away. If he's got another white mana source, you said he's got a Plains in his hand, he can use the Supreme Verdict to kill it. But
got to find one.
Yeah, and also that's not a fun game to play.
No,
I tap out on my turn after you hit me for 4.
Yeah.
Let's do that again next turn, right? And they play a Koth of the Hammer, hit you for 4.
Yep.
It's out of hand pretty quickly.
Sure does.
And you see another trademark of Kevin's build here, specifically tailored to the Modern metagame here, a Relic of Progenitus in the main deck. And that's going to let him kind of chew away at Alex's graveyard. And then at the appropriate time, he can crack that relic with, say, a Snapcaster Mage trigger on the stack. By the way, you see there's 2 fetch lands in the graveyard for Alex, and there's no fetchable dual lands on the battlefield. He knows what's up. He knows what he's playing
they have deck
against.
lists.
That's right.
He knows Blood Moon's in the deck.
Oh, think twice, number 2. Do it again. Think again.
Halfway to killing that Stormbreath Dragon.
With the Electrolyze there?
Yeah, but he doesn't even have access to another red mana because he's fetched for so many basic lands.
Yeah, this actually could come up to bite him.
That was a Cryptic Command.
Okay. Still doesn't get rid of the dragon, but it gives him some hope.
Yeah, I think that's a Supreme Verdict and a land.
Okay. You said he's got a Plains? Well, if it's not a Plains, he's got a Glacial Fortress.
Glacial Fortress.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he has a Plains.
So, yeah, he's got a Plains as well. So, he can cast it next turn. Or this turn. May just want to do that. Is it on top of his library? Yeah, okay. He's got a Logic Knot in his hand. You know, he's trading off a lot of life total here, but it's going to start adding up pretty quickly. Is he going to have to defensively Cryptic? Easy there, Kevin. All right, still got his finger on that untapped. There we go. He's going to use a Relic. Does not pop the Relic, though. His last turn was pretty unimpressive. That's all he did.
Yep.
He is stuck with a few awkward cards in his hand. He's got an Anger of the Gods that's currently doing nothing. And he's just going to attack with Storm Breath to knock Alex down to 6. No Lightning Bolts, though, for Kevin. So here's Cryptic Command that he's going to use to actually bounce the Storm Breath. I guess his plan is to Logic Knot it on the way back down.
Okay, I think I just made a mistake. It's not a Supreme Verdict, and it's in fact the Sphinx's Revelation. So yeah, his plan is to Logic Knot it.
Okay. Now, the interesting part about this is that if Kevin studied the deck list, he may want to proactively use the Relic. Though it's quite a bit of mana already for Alex, so probably wouldn't matter. There's a Lightning Bolt off the top now for Kevin.
Yeah, pretty good draw.
Yes. In combination with Storm Breath, that is enough to kill Alex. So Alex is going to have to disallow this one way or another. Logic Knot. Alex confirming how much mana Kevin has left over or available.
Gonna just hard cast it for 2, which is fine, and then presumably cycle. That should be in the graveyard, yeah. And then presumably cycle his Electrolyze at end of turn.
Yeah, that's what he's going to do. Just going to head upstairs with that one, but get a card out of the deal.
Kevin thinking about casting this Lightning Bolt, representing half of Alex's life total.
Decides against it. Well, there's a Supreme Verdict now. A little late. But Alex has to be so careful because just another Storm Breath or a Koth or something could do it.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11.
Wow, Kevin does decide to cast it. He had the shields down. He could have resolved it, but instead he's kind of forcing an issue here on the end step. Now, Alex can take the 3, but it does put him in range of a lot of stuff from Kevin.
Tricky situation here if you're Alex, because he can just cast Sphinx's Revelation right now for 5. Take the 3 down to 8. Have a full hand, but it gives Kevin free reign. The thing is, Alex doesn't have much in his hand anyway to do on Kevin's turn.
So he's going to have a little faith in the top of his library here, draw 5 cards plus his draw step, and have answers for whatever Kevin puts down.
Right. But some cards, you know.
That is tempting, man.
Koth the Hammer, for example, a lot harder to answer than.
So annoying for these control decks.
What's Koth start at in Loyalty?
I think 4.
So it would be
I'll
to 5.
double check for you, though. 3 plus 1 to 4.
Okay, so that's not quite as bad for Alex because of that Celestial Colonnade.
Okay, so Alex does fire off the big-time Sphinx's Revelation, then takes the 3s at 8. So Kevin, like you said, he has free reign. Was that another bolt?
It is, but it's just one damage short.
Whoa, so close. So now he just main phases the bolt here, though, right? Because he's got the other one? No?
He doesn't have another one anymore.
Oh, that was just the one. Right. Okay. Man, this is about as close as they get. So now the Supreme Verdict gets to take care of the dragon.
Alex has a Cryptic.
Okay.
Attention players. Equipfire seal number 4.
I wouldn't use it here.
I wouldn't either, but
I mean, I'm not happy about going to 1.
I'm not happy about going to 1 either.
But the truth is that Kevin's deck has multiple cards in it that do 4 damage to you right away.
Yeah.
Kevin's going to crack this Relic of Progenitus, get rid of the graveyards, draw himself a card.
Is that another bolt?
That's a bolt.
I do not like this. I do not like just firing the bolt out into open mana with your opponent at 1, playing a blue-white control deck that's going to attempt to kill you with Celestial Colonnades and get back in the game with Sphinx's Revelation. I think, like...
Oh, yeah.
You've
He
got-
just let him counter it.
Yeah, you've just got to wait and be able to stack threats up and
Yep.
let Alex tap his mana or force Alex to tap his mana.
That's right. No, I agree with you. I mean, he went for it. He was saying, hey, you got anything?
Yeah.
But the truth is that after Alex resolves a Sphinx's Revelation for 5 and hasn't countered much of anything else outside that one logic nod, he probably has something.
Yeah, I agree.
Alex is sitting on 7 cards in hand at the moment. Oh, man. Down to 1 for Alex. Kevin is so close. He's got a couple of cards saved up in those Mind Stones as well.
Yeah, it's probably about time to cash those in.
Alex is just going to play the Snapcaster Mage on a Serum Visions, it looked like. After playing the Serum Visions. There's 1 Mind Stone.
That's a lethal threat.
What was it?
Chandra, Torch of Defiance.
Okay. That will force the issue. He's going to leave the other Mind Stone down. It's kind of interesting. He found a relic, which he can use to take out that 1 cryptic command, just in case it's Snapcaster Mage Cryptic that Alex leaning on here. Can do it for still have the mana left over to play that Chandra. So Kevin's going to put Relic of Progenitus on the stack. Okay, and that actually is going to prompt Alex to cast Snapcaster Mage in response. That's still on the stack, Kevin. Tough spot for Alex. He's going to target the Cryptic command, but he really is forced to play it right away.
And now he loses to the Chandra.
Yeah, now he's just going to die. All right, there we go. Chandra, Torch of Defiance, straight out of Kaladesh. And he's just going to plus. Scry, you take 1.
2.
Excuse me, you take 2. And that's game 1 going to Kevin Mackie with this Scred Red mid-range red deck. Why do we call it Scred Red? Just because it rhymes?
Yeah. If it didn't rhyme, if the card was just called, you know,
Right.
Avalanche or whatever, we wouldn't call it Avalanche Red.
Okay.
But as
Here
it
we
is, it's
are.
Scred Red.
It is Scred Red. Yeah, you just have to know that that doesn't mean anything other than mid-range red. And Kevin worked his way through a Sphinx's Revelation for 5 there to kill his opponent. Great stuff out of game 1. We're in the semifinals here in Dallas. We saw Corey Burkhart run through the Swiss, finish with a 14-0-1 record, and he won his quarterfinal match against Phil Napoli. He's playing right now. Kevin Mackie, with Snow-Covered Mountains Abound in his deck, is also in the semis.
He never draws the scrying sheets.
He never does. He never does. And lucky for him, he never draws the Screds either, because the last few times we've seen him, he hasn't had many targets.
Well, he had one in his hand against the Ascension deck, right?
Yeah. Hopefully he didn't draw any more of those. But they're likely going to come out here. Take a look at his opponent, Alex. Both of these players playing kind of a bigger version of other decks. 2 Sphinx's Revelation, main 3 Supreme Verdict, the full 4 Cryptic Commands, even a Torrential Gearhulk.
Yeah.
Normally when you see these Jeskai decks, they're thinned down a bit to the cheaper end of the spectrum. Some 1-ofs in there too, just the 1 Helix, the 1 Negate, the 1 Mana Leak. 1 a Johnny Vengeance, love that. 2 lightning bolt.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That makes me a little sad.
3 Snapcaster. 1 Gear Hulk.
So 4 Snapcaster.
Sort of. 2 Lightning Bolt, 4 Path. Thoughts?
I'm not in love with it.
Yeah, me
I'm
either.
not in love with that ratio. Players are taking a look at deck lists. We talked about it a little while ago. They do get to see each other's deck lists just in the interest of fairness, and some deck lists have been shown on our stream and elsewhere throughout the course of the weekend more than others. Make sure that everybody has the same level of information available to them. Alex's sideboard, you can see down in the lower left, a lot of one-ofs in that list.
Sure are.
And they kind of overlap in different places, so he's going to be able to do
I love Ruined
this.
Halo on Stormbreath Dragon.
Oh, an answer. One of the big question marks that we see with these type of matches, of course, is the Blood Moon coming from Kevin Mackie. It's a card that could just outright steal games from
Well, it
unprepared
starts in the main deck,
opponents.
so it's really, will it stay in?
Right.
But you saw how aggressively Alex was playing around it in the first game even, so you'll expect that to continue. So as the red player, you might take the Blood Moons out and go ahead and fetch all your basics. Don't optimize your mana.
It is really hard to turn down that kind of value when you can just play other spells while your opponent plays around.
Right, exactly.
It's the force spike play, you know?
Yep.
You get somebody, you just take them out, and they just play a turn behind the rest of the match.
Right.
That said, you know, Blood Moon even later in that game would have been decent. You know, there's still Celestial Colonnades that Alex is, you know, uses his, in many ways, his primary win condition. He only has so many basics. I mean, he can certainly function, but... All right, game number 2 incoming. Semifinals. Pretty standard opener here for Kevin. You know, Eternal Scourge, Koth, Snow-Covered Mountain,
Pyrite Spellbomb.
Pyrite Spellbomb, all the usual suspects.
He's got the sheets.
Did he have one?
I think so.
Okay. You said you like that in this matchup quite a bit, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
Gives you something to do with your excess mana.
totally.
Fix your draws a little bit.
That's what Alex is hoping that happens to him. He's going to take a mulligan. Chad has a question for you, Huey.
Okay.
Why is there an Eternal Scourge in the deck?
I mean, I guess he's just trying to use it to fight through removal.
It's just a resilient threat.
Just a resilient threat.
Needed a good 3-drop.
Needed a good 3-drop. I'm curious to see it. We haven't seen it drawn or cast yet.
No. I want to see it too.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the Jeskai control deck, you can sweep it away.
Yeah,
but,
this could be a decent matchup for it.
but you know, they are leaning on the paths and the bolts and the things like that.
Right.
Chad also points out that if Relic of Progenitus hits an Eternal Scourge, or if Anger of the Gods gets it, which he does play in the main deck, you can still
Yep.
grab it back. All right, we're underway here in game number 2. Let's see if Kevin Mackie can finish things up with his Scred red deck, or if it's going to be Alex who gets to play post board with a control deck against a monocolor deck, playing 3 colors himself. You got to figure that he's got a lot of different access to good stuff out of the board, where Mackie is going to be able to make some adjustments, maybe not what he'd really like. He's going to start off with a pair of artifacts here.
Coming
Make
out
that
blazing.
a triplet of artifacts here. My goodness. Alex is going to double check what Pyrite Spellbomb does. It's like, what is this? See a Celestial Purge in hand for Alex. That could be pretty good against, Planeswalker or something like that.
Sure could, yeah.
Unfortunately, not an answer for Stormbreath Dragon. There it is. The Eternal Scourge. Here, deal with this. It's going to get mana leaked.
That just delays it for a turn, right?
No.
He can just relic himself,
Yeah, he can just relic himself.
so it just delays it for a turn,
yeah,
right?
yeah, no, it does. You're totally right. It does. He's already got the relic down and everything.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Combo assemble?
How's he going to beat that?
I don't know. Well, this is insane.
Yeah, what's going on?
It was a good question from the chat before we started. Kevin's just going to get rid of the Pyrite Spellbomb, draw a card there. Interestingly, I don't know if Eternal Scourge is really the most powerful thing he can do here. May want to run it out there just to sort of tempt.
It's almost certainly the best thing he can do.
Yeah, he could play a
'Cause
Planeswalker.
it
but
makes it so there's no good way for Alex to use his mana, right?
Exactly. What are you going to do? Counter it? What are you going to do? Target it?
He might Cryptic it. Just to buy time? I don't know.
Could just be back next turn.
Again, Alex is paying a tremendous amount of respect to Blood Moon. Look at his board.
Yeah, he really is. He just has none of it. He just does not want to get Blood Mooned out of this tournament. Okay, it looks like Kevin's going to turn that Relic of Progenitus back on his opponent. Oh,
There it is.
there's a Blood Moon.
Not very threatening right now.
Yeah, thanks to Alex fetching out these basics. Here comes Eternal Scourge.
What does Wild Ricochet do exactly?
It lets you redirect. I'll read it to you.
Thank you.
Also, it is not Wild Ricochet that
No,
he has,
no,
right?
it's Ricochet Trap. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
If an opponent casts a blue spell this turn, you can pay red rather than paying the full 3 in a red. Change the target of target spell with a single target. That's all it does.
Okay, so he could have used it right there to force through his Chandra to redirect the Cryptic Command to the Ricochet.
As long as a Cryptic Command hand a single target.
It did because it was counter draw.
Yep.
So he could have redirected the Cryptic Command to the Ricochet Trap. Is that accurate?
Mm-hmm.
And then the Ricochet Trap, and then the Cryptic Command would have even fizzled, I think, because the Ricochet Trap's off the stack when it resolves. Not 100% sure. And he wouldn't even get to draw.
He didn't do it.
No, but I think he could have.
But he's still chipping away with his Eternal Scourge.
Yeah.
And I kind of coming around on that thing.
Yeah.
It looks really annoying from Alex's perspective.
I agree.
Like, he may be able to just go over the top of it, but it's really done its job in the early stages here.
Rep for 3.
That's a starter Sphinx's Revelation.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one that gets it flowing. Land go.
Well, that's sort of an answer to the Scourge.
It is. A very awkward one, but it is one. So much mana. Scrying sheets down there still, too?
Yep.
Do I want to use that? Did nothing.
Why wouldn't he use it?
I don't know. It felt like that was the time to do it. In the meantime, Okay, Lightning Helix is going to send Scourge packing once again. Get rid of that Lightning Helix. And there's a cost of the hammer.
So the plan would be to minus.
And now we're going to see Ricochet Trap. So he's going to redirect it to the Ricochet Trap. To itself or whatever.
I think spells can't target themselves anymore. I think it has to be redirected to the Ricochet Trap. But it doesn't really matter. It just effectively is a Pyroblast.
Right.
So it looks like the plan is minus Koth and play Eternal Scourge?
We're post-combat, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Eternal Scourge attacked.
Right. Yeah. Looks like there's a little delay here.
I think
Perhaps
Alex was just asking for the... I don't know.
Well,
how does Logic not read?
Wow.
Is there something special about it?
I'm going to double check. I don't believe so. Counter target spell unless its controller pays X.
I don't understand the problem.
Well, it's hard because we didn't get to hear, but he put it back in his hand.
So our producer is telling us, Andy is telling us, he tried to redirect Logic Knot to itself, and you can't do that. So what happened is probably, Kevin said, I'm going to cast Ricochet Trap on Logic Knot redirected to itself, and the judge says, that's not allowed. And Kevin went, oh shoot, I thought you could do that. Didn't realize he could redirect it to the Ricochet Trap, and so couldn't make a legal play, so they had to put it back in his hand.
And so Koth got countered and the cryptic
Koth got
resolved?
countered, the cryptic resolved, and he
no.
revealed, or the Logic Knot resolved rather, and he revealed his Ricochet Trap.
Oh no. That's terrible. That's
Right.
why he put it in the deck.
It's true, but as a judge, you can't say,
No.
you can't say, well, you're not allowed to target that, but you can just go ahead and redirect it to your Ricochet Trap.
Yeah.
That's outside assistance, and that's outside the scope of a judge ruling. So the right decision. If I understand exactly what happened correctly, but that seems to be what I'm being told.
I think that's exactly what happened. But Kevin, if it goes back in his hand, should say, okay, I'll tap this mountain again.
Well, that's only if
I'll
he
replay
knows
it again.
yeah.
I know.
But now Koth's in the graveyard.
And like, where did his graveyard go? And oh no, not like this. All right, now looks like we've got a judge conferring with the players here and perhaps rewinding. We'll let this unfold here, and because we need to know what happened. This is a really important piece of the puzzle here for this match. Ricochet Trap is an exceptionally strange card. I see that our coverage showrunner, Mark Calderaro, has the story, is relaying it to Andy. I don't know if there's any new information, but we'll find out if there is, and we'll relay it to you as well. In the meantime, we do have a judge at the table that's taking care of this here. And,
Trying to listen to what's being told to our producer, but I can't really hear all of it.
So he has to choose a target when he puts it on the stack.
That is absolutely not correct.
Oh, it's not.
When you cast a spell with a target, you cast a spell and you say, I'm targeting this. If that's illegal, they don't go, well, it's too late. You've said you're casting the spell, pick something else. That's not how Magic rules work.
No, I think what the argument is that he
because,
can't just take it back.
I see the difference. Okay, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happens is you cast Ricochet Trap on Logic Knot, then it resolves. Like you've cast it without having to choose what you're redirecting it to. And when it resolves, then you're forced to. It's not the same as casting a spell with the target, because it is legal to cast Ricochet Trap on Logic Knot.
Yes.
Okay, that makes
and
sense.
you can't just undo that.
Apologies.
And it looks like that's what happened here. So
that
Ricochet
that
Trap
actually
ends
is the
up in
correct
the
ruling.
yard.
It makes total sense to me. I got a bit confused.
No, it's
because of
confusing spot.
because of the formatting of the card. It is legal to cast Ricochet Trap. It is legal to target Logic Knot. He did that. After that, he said, I'll redirect it to this. Well, that's not legal. So you back up to that point, not to the point where the spell got cast.
Exactly.
And I guess they said, well, what are you going to choose? He's like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
But they're like, well, you're only allowed to choose this. You have to do it.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, that's probably good for me because now he gets a Koth, he minus his Koth, and he plays Blood Moon and passes the turn back.
Right.
Now, you were thinking maybe he'll play the Eternal Scourge.
No,
He decided
that's
for
not
the Blood
right,
Moon.
because if he plays Eternal Scourge, then Alex can use the Celestial Colonnade to attack Koth. And with the Blood Moon, he can't do that.
Exactly. And this does limit Alex's options. He's got 2 islands, 1 plains, and now a slew of mountains
Even
on his
with
side.
2 islands and a plains, he has 2 spells in his hand he can't cast. He has a Cryptic Command and a Rune Halo that he just drew. I think he just drew.
Yep.
And he can't
And-
cast
and he
either
shuts-
one of them.
And he shuts down the Colonnade like you mentioned too. So that Blood Moon doing work here. There's another tap mountain for Alex. By the way, I'm very
he
glad
has a
that
Celestial
got
Purge,
done.
though.
He does have a Celestial Purge. Yes, he had that earlier.
What is he holding it for, do you think? Like, why not get rid of either the Koth or the Blood Moon?
Yeah, and you would have wanted to do one or the other on your turn. He didn't have quite enough mana with a tap land to take out the Blood Moon and then activate his Colonnade and kill Koth. But here we go. Storm Breath Dragon now.
So now he's going to kill the Blood Moon, and this is actually pretty strong.
Okay, so get rid of the Blood Moon. Then what's the line?
Good
Just
question.
sweep the board. Sweep the leg. He doesn't have enough mana to activate the Colonnade, right? No, he's only got 4 extra
Well,
lands.
not right now, but he can do it on his turn. Like, he
Yes.
can counter the Storm Breath, untap, and attack the Koth.
So he's going to go for Cryptic now. And he's just going to Cryptic Command the Dragon.
Right.
Draw himself a card. He is going to take a hit from Koth here.
He'll be
Untap
taking a
this.
hit from Snow-Covered Mountain.
That's true. At the behest of Koth. So that's going to knock Alex down to 12. He's still got some life total to work with here. That was a good sequence, though, for Alex.
What's Koth's ultimate? It's like all your lands gain tap, deal 1 damage to target creature or player.
That's right.
Rune Halo naming Snow-Covered Mountain could do some serious work. I'm not even kidding.
It really could. It makes it hard for Alex to win because, like, he can still just mow down his Colonnades or whatever.
True.
But Alex might be able to chain together enough, lightning helixes or whatever to win the game.
Yeah.
Okay, in the meantime, this is the sort of the full circle on that play that we saw earlier. Alex is actually going to take 2 damage from his Halo because he wants to play a Johnny Vengeant here. Keep
Johnny's going to die to the other Koth,
this
though.
done. Kevin draws his card for the turn.
And then Koth's-
Revenge of Koth
yeah, but then Koth is going to die again to Celestial
to the
Colonnade.
Colonnade game.
So trading Haymakers here.
They are trading Haymakers. That has to benefit Alex in the long run. He just has, cards like Sphinx's Revelation that he can use to just overpower Kevin.
I would be
but-
tempted if I were Alex to just play this, kill Koth and play this Explosives to 1 and blow up those relics.
Yeah, those represent cards for Kevin. They represent messing with his graveyard.
And the Scourge.
The Scourge thing.
Is the Scourge in exile right now, or is it still?
Yeah, it's below the Blood Moon up
Yeah,
there.
okay.
Okay, so again, the Haymaker trading continues. Is he doing it for 3? Or is he doing it for 1 and cracking it immediately?
Good question. 3.
Is that preventative from the Scourge?
Protects against Blood Moon, I suppose.
Yes. Pia and Kira Nalar in hand for Kevin Mackie. It's been a heck of a game. Had a little drama in there. All right. Pien Kieran Nalar. Some people call them mom and dad. Some people call them the red lingering souls.
P and Kieran represent a lot of damage on this board. A lot of artifacts.
Absolutely.
I think they're going to meet the supreme verdict, though.
Yes. And that is a very clean way to deal with Pien Kieran Nalar, as Kevin's doesn't have enough mana to even chuck a Thopter at Alex here. So crunch. One of the best ways to 1-for-1 with them. And it looks like he's going to keep that Ruined Halo in his hand since he doesn't know yet.
Well, he's going to use it on the
what?
Scourge probably, because it's a continuous answer to the recurring threat. But right now he's just going to start attacking.
Yeah. Both players are now out of gas. This is where the mana base from Alex benefits him because he gets to use Celestial Colonnades to actually generate
Kevin
board
does
advantage.
have 3 cards in play, though. 3 things in play capable of
drawing him
drawing
cards.
a card.
Yeah, is he going to cash in one of them here? It looks
Probably.
like it. Mind Stone first. Ooh, Pien Kieran Nalar off the top.
Pretty good.
He is ahead significantly in the damage race. That was the first time. Ooh, that was a Goblin Rabble Master
Yeah,
viewing.
explosives, though.
Right on 3. Now, that's fine. Just play Pien Kieran Nalar.
Yeah, that is fine. Quested Alliance.
Okay. It's something.
Yeah, of course.
I wouldn't call it the perfect draw here, but it's something. You live with him, man.
I sure do.
He's yours. Owen is just too good.
Yeah.
Owen had a rough start to the day.
Sure did. Good record yesterday, 8-1. So I guess 2-4 today. Not what he was hoping for, certainly.
That's right. All right, so one of the relics is going to get cracked here. Bye-bye to the graveyards. Oh, he's just jamming here. Just begging for this Celestial Colonnade to come out and play. And it does. And it even gets a block. Well, this does get the job done against that one Colonnade. Unfortunately for Kevin, there's another one to block the Thopters that are left over. Okay, there's a Scourge. Pass a turn back. That Celestial Colonnade that Alex has hiding in his mana base is pulling overtime here. It is barely holding off the assault, and now we're going to see the Ruined Halo for, like you said, the recurring
Yeah, that just
threat.
turns off the Scourge.
Yeah, but the Halos, or the Colonnade's still there to block Thopters. So we're at a relative standstill, though. There's a Blood Moon. So now if Kevin can play the Blood Moon and get Alex to use the explosives on that, it might clear the way for a very difficult to deal with threat with Goblin Rabble Master. And the interesting part is that he may be able to have him do that right now because Alex can pop the Engineer Explosives. Oh, he actually doesn't. He's actually 1 mana short on being able to do both anyway, so that won't work. Now, he may...
I don't know.
If he creates... Okay, I was going to ask you. I'm assuming if he makes it into a creature now, that it'll stay a 4/4 mountain, but it also could just become a basic mountain that has no power
I'm
and
not sure,
toughness.
to be
And
honest.
I don't know either. Modern is spectacular at producing these corner
Looks like
cases.
he was asking a judge and then activated it. So
Yeah. Could activate the...
he could, but now he can let him attack and then do it. Oh, wow, electrolyze.
Oh, electrolyze. That's a nice... Wow, this has been a fantastic back and forth. This has just been great. Oh, well, he's gonna use it right away. And that does mean that Goblin Rabble Master in Kevin's hand is still live if he can get Alex to use the explosives.
Alex just drawing every card and just praying it's Sphinx's Revelation.
He wants a revelation more than anything. He's actually got the mana to cast Sphinx's Revelation even if it doesn't have the Blood Moon. All right. And he just wants to get on with it here. So now it's going to come down to Celestial Colonnade plus draw steps versus a Goblin Rabble Master. And there's Scrying Sheets. Hey, did it. That's value. He did it. He drew a Mind Stone. Cast that too. Well, he's probably just going to want to crack that Mind Stone before the next turn at least, right?
I would think so.
Yeah. He doesn't really need the mana. No, I guess not. Okay, and there's a Goblin Rabble Master. That his hopes are currently hanging on that card. He's going to get in for 1, drop Alex down to 6. Alex is effectively tapped out with just 1 land untapped there. A Logic Knot is not what he wanted to see. Every time I do the numbers on trying to race Goblin Rabble Master, the Rabble Master wins. Okay, Scrying Sheet says no. Is it something good then? Oh, it's just so close for Alex, too, because if there wasn't that 1 extra goblin,
right,
Alex could set it up better.
Now, Goblin Rabble Master attack trigger on the stack. Alex can use Blessed Alliance, make Kevin sacrifice a creature, and if he sacrifices one of the Goblin tokens, Goblin Rabble Master only has 3 power, and he can at least try to block with Colonnade.
Doesn't look like that's what happened. Or did it? Well, before anything, Kevin's going to crack this Mind Stone, find another one. It looks like Alex is content to just trade here. But that leaves Kevin with 2 nice little threats and no more blockers left for Alex. He's going to be able to buy some time with the Blessed Alliance, but
I think
he really wanted to be able to keep that Colonnade.
Kevin's drawn another Rabble Master. It could be something else.
No,
the
it was a
foils are
Mind
hard
Stone.
to see.
It looks like it to me,
Yeah.
man. He didn't play it, though.
No, he doesn't want to get it
Swept away.
Supreme Verdicted or something.
Well, there's some action.
These 2 1/1s are...
They are problematic, but...
I mean, Alex is capable of gaining 4 life.
That's right. He can pay 4 mana, gain 2, kill 1 of the goblins. That's pretty good. I mean, puts him to 8 and just leaves him with a 1/1. Probably want to just crack the Mind Stone here. Let's see what Kevin comes up with as far as threats go here. He's upkeep Scrying Sheets, and it worked again. He's kind of running up the score there. Another Mind Stone. And you're right, that was a Rabble Master that he had from last turn. He also drew one other red spell that I haven't quite got my eye on yet. Oh, it's a Stormbreath Dragon, it looks like. Now he feels comfortable running this out, because if this gets swept away, he can follow up with Stormbreath. But since he uses Scrying Sheets, he doesn't have enough mana to play the Stormbreath this turn as well, which would be lethal. So Logic Knot is going to counter the second Rabble Master and send it to the graveyard with its friend. Leave Kevin Mackie with just 2 1/1 goblins. That's half of your life total, Alex. Do you have to use the Blessed Alliance now?
What else are you going to do with it?
You got to use it.
I think so.
He wants to leave up Logic Knot, so he doesn't. He's going to drop to 2. Cutting it close. And there's a Mind Stone, which basically is just another card for him. And there's the Think Twice. Ooh, is a Lightning Bolt off the top, Huey. That is the nightmare scenario for Alex, because he's going to have to think twice, hope to rip something great.
Spells.
Yeah, lots of lethal spells here for Kevin Mackie. He's already up a game, looking to put himself in the finals. I can tell you that his finals opponent, you know who, Corey Burkhart, he won 2-0 in his semifinal match, and he awaits the winner here. Here's Blessed Alliance. I'd like to pay 4 mana, have you sacrifice an attacker and gain 4. Oh, but Kevin let it happen. Did not fire the lightning bolt off, and now Alex is out of range of that bolt. Man, I think you got to put him to the test there, Huey, and just say, lightning bolt you. Now, if you counter it or whatever, you're going to do that anyway. But he's playing with fire.
Yeah, Alex tapped his Ghost Quarter sort of inexplicably and now can't fizzle this Molten Rain, which would have actually been very good. Save your counterspell for something that matters.
Absolutely. It's actually huge here. He takes 2 and goes back into lightning bolt range as a result of that. He also takes 2 and goes into 4 range, which is the Stormbreath in hand or another Koth. That could have been a disastrous play from Alex. It seems so subtle.
Right.
Right? You're like, it's colorless, I'll tap it. And with Think Twice on the stack, now Kevin's going to pull the trigger on Lightning Bolt, and Alex does not have enough to counter with the Logic Knot. 5 mana sources freed up from Kevin Mackie. Is he going to ride the Lightning into the finals here?
It's over.
Alex is going over his options, but there are none. This is Kevin Mackie winning his semifinal match 2-0 and earning the right to play against Corey Burkhart, who has yet to lose a match on the weekend. His worst is a draw so far. Okay. Does he have enough here? He cracks the fetch. Just make him pay. It's for 4, right? You can pay 4. Pay 4. And Lightning Bolt gets the job done. Kevin Mackie with that mid-range Scred Red deck. We've been watching him for most of the day today. Yeah. He's been at the top tables, and he has just been running the show. He's got one more person to get through if he wants to carry the trophy home.
Tough one.
And it's not going to be easy for him. He's going to face Corey Burkhart in the finals here. Wow.
Yeah.
It's a heck of a match down the stretch.
I mean, as I predicted before the tournament, Grixis Control versus Scred Red in the finals.
We have that on tape somewhere.
Yeah, we've got the videotape.
You know I'm too lazy to look it up, but I was also sitting next to you all weekend, and I know you did not say that.
Wrong.